Hey everyone, my name is Sean Cecil from the Oculus Institute, and today we're going to talk about sabotaging goals. So last week we talked about setting SMART goals, and I gave you a slightly different rendition of my version of SMART than the way most people think about it. Most people have things like achievable or realistic or stuff like that, whereas we were looking for specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time-bound. And if you don't know what each of those mean, go back and watch that last video. Today, we're going to talk about some of the ways that people sabotage their goals. So when people are setting their goals or when they're going out to achieve their goals, there's certain things that people do that really get in the way. And most of the time, it actually starts in the beginning in the goal setting. So that's where we're going to focus. So the first thing that people will do that will sabotage their goals is they'll let the inner bully take charge. And they'll have this part of them that tells them, oh, you can't do that. You can't get that. How do you know you can get there? Right? So rather than allowing themselves to actually tap into what it is that they want, they'll either not put down anything because they're just paralyzed, or they'll shoot really small, right? Because they're trying to play it safe, right? And all of those things stop them from actually making any significant, meaningful change, right? Because they're sitting here trying to assuage this inner bully that frankly, is never going to be okay with anything significant, right? And that's a different thing that you got to deal with. I did a video on the inner bully several weeks ago that you can go look at. So you really want to be careful, right, on that when it comes to goal setting. Related to that, and I also did a video on this, is the inner toddler. The inner toddler is the part that just doesn't want to work. That I don't want to, right? I just want everything to be easy and comfortable, right? I did a video on that one as well. And that's the same thing that will stop you from setting a goal that's going to require a lot of work, right? And so, you really want to challenge that, because if you want to get something meaningful, it may very well require a lot of work. That's part of what makes it meaningful, right? That's part of, honestly, I believe that overcoming challenges is a big part of what gives life meaning, right? And so it's worthwhile. The other thing that I've seen that people will do that will really screw with their goal setting is that they'll write out like 1,000 goals. They'll write out, and you're looking at it, it's just dozens and dozens and dozens of things. And it's not even possible for them to achieve all of them. They don't have enough hours in the day. And what they're not doing here is they're not prioritizing the goals that are important, right? If you really want to achieve your goals, you shouldn't have that long a list. You should have one thing that is just the primary thing that comes before all others. You should have another 3 or 4 things that are really meaningful to you. And everything else is kind of fluff. You can have a couple extra things there and that's fine, but you want to make sure that those big ones are highlighted, right? Because at the end of the day, those are going to be the ones that really make the difference, right? And if you have too many, you're just not going to do any of them. You're going to half-ass everything, right? And that's not going to get you anywhere. Whereas if you have a couple that are really meaningful to you, you're much more likely to put in the effort and achieve them. Right? And again, having the one that's non-negotiable, right? That's the one where even if there's conflict, even if there's this, even if you have to trade off this goal, you make that one thing and that changes your life, that makes a difference, right? So don't come out with like a bazillion different goals, right? Focus on a couple that really matter. Finally, one thing that I've seen where people really sabotage their goal setting is rather than going out and doing the goal, they get stuck in over planning. So like, oh, well, in order to get there, I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna have to do this, I'm gonna have to do this. And they start doing all this planning and they spend days or weeks planning how they're gonna achieve their goal rather than taking the action of actually doing it. So for example, if it's a weight loss goal, they, hone down to the exact number of calories every day and they meal plan out every single meal for X number of weeks, and they don't actually go to the gym and buy gym membership. Right? They do all the planning and they're like, oh yeah. And then, when they're done with the planning, they plan out all of their workouts in detail, right? They don't actually go do it, right? And they don't actually go buy the food that they say they're going to buy for the meal plan, right? They've got the plan. Oh yeah, I'll start that next week, right? So like over planning is very often a distraction. Sometimes it's linked to the inner bully of saying, oh, well, if I don't have the perfect plan, then I won't be able to do it. But at the end of the day, that perfect plan doesn't actually have nearly as much impact as actually in doing something, right? Anything that moves you towards your goal starts changing your neurology to, hey, this is the way things are moving. This is the way things should be, right? And that in and of itself is a really, really, really big difference. So You got to go take action. You can't just get stuck in planning phase. So those are the ways that people sabotage goals. The inner bully, the inner toddler, coming up with too many goals, just having an excess, and over planning.
Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's something that resonated with you, maybe a new connection that you made or some information that shifted your perspective, if you found value here, then I want to give you one last gift. So I've put together a free diagnostic that I call a checkup with the career doctor. Short list of questions, and as you answer them, it's going to give you a readout of where you stand on the important metrics of career fulfillment, right? How happy are you with your job and how good a fit is it, right? Financial success, which we all know, and then internal alignment, which is your level of inner peace and the inner resources that you have to bring to creating the life that you want. Additionally, it's also going to show you which areas you can improve on to get those metrics moving in the right direction, as well as how can we at the Oculus Institute help you make progress. So it's totally free, 100%. All you have to do is just go to www.oculusinstitute.com/purpose quiz, right? No spaces, no dashes, just oculusinstitute.com. That's OCULUSINSTITUTE.com/purpose quiz. And you can take it totally for free. You'll get a free report sent to you. And then at the end, it will give you some next steps of what you can do to reach out so that we can help you create the career of your